Hi guys, this is Jessica. Welcome back to another week where I'm going to go through my sales for the week. What sold? We're going to start off in my back of house of Nifty here. This has all my insights for all of my platforms all together. So we're doing February 20th through today. It's 9 o'clock at night right now. I just got done with my shipping and I actually had 2 orders come in as I was shipping. So my numbers were up a little bit more than they were when I first was doing research on this a couple hours ago. So I have 48 items that sold this week, which is insane to me because when I first started a couple years ago, selling 40 items was like how much I sold in a whole month. So 48 items in a week is crazy. I have 111% sell-through rate. I listed 43 items throughout the week this week. And total revenue, $3,088.96 and profit, $2,327. I have my cute little chart here. Nifty actually added a few extra infos in there, which is kind of cool to see. I had 28 sales on eBay, 7 on Depop, 13 on Poshmark. That means I didn't get any on Etsy or any on Mercari this week, and that's fine with me. I don't expect much from them. Let's get started. We're jumping right into Smartwool. Look at that little robot. Smartwool jacket. I found this in Idaho, sitting on a rack at a thrift store. I think I paid $8 for it. It sold for $90 on Poshmark. My take home was $72. We're going through, I'm not going to take you through all 48 of my orders, but I will. I think I'm giving you like top 20-ish of my favorite ones. They're not in any particular order, just cool sales that I thought you might want to know. Next up is a Patagonia button-up floral Hawaiian organic cotton shirt. I think I've actually sold this exact shirt sometime last year. And so when I saw the pattern on the rack, I knew, go grab that because that's going to sell. And it did. It sold with my 10% coupon in my store. Buyer paid $54.42, and I took home $36.29. Just a solid, I feel like anything organic cotton from Patagonia, and especially a cool print, always does well. Buyer paid shipping. Good stuff. All right, keep moving, or we're going to be here all night. Another Smartwool. It was Smartwool week. This was not as substantial of an item. It was just like a base layer zip up, full zip, lightweight. You can see the little robot in this one a little better. That's always what you got to look for, that cute little robot in the corner. This was actually a rare mountain landscape scene, so I priced it up a little high since it was rare. And buyer paid $59.36. So I must have I think I took an offer of 50 something on it. It was free shipping, but I took home $38.37. A nice quick flip. I just picked this up, I think, last week. Lululemon. It's hard to come by good Lululemon these days, but I find that Lululemon men's always sells well for me, so I always pick it up. This is just like a random performance. You wouldn't even know it was Lululemon unless you saw the little tag on the back because it was missing its rip tag. But I know the feel of Lululemon, so I can usually spot it pretty easy at the thrift store. This one sold with my 10% offer in my store. Buyer paid $46.36, and I took home $34.44. Next up, we have my Gucci shoebox. I found this in a Goodwill in Vegas, and I went for a girls' spa day with my friends, and I still had to hit the thrift store because business trip. And found this. It had quite a bit of wear on it, but it was cool, really cool pattern. I thought it looked very artsy. Botanical garden. I put it up for $59 and took an offer of $51. Buyer paid $63.27. and I took home $42.16. I paid $3.99 for this. $3.99. Always look out for cool, unique pieces. Next up, another Poshmark sale. These hats were sitting in my store for quite a while. I lotted them up just because they were all Fox. And Fox is usually a pretty good brand. I took an offer of $25 on them. And since they've been sitting in my store for like 6 months, I went ahead and took it. And took home $20. Need them out. I'm not a storage facility. I'm a seller. So we're going to keep things moving. Sometimes they sell for a lot, and sometimes we just got to move them on. This next one is pretty cool. It's a laser that goes on a specific pew pew. And I actually picked this up. I texted my husband to see if he wanted it because it was $15, and I don't like paying up for things. So, but it was still new in the box. The battery hadn't even been taken out of the package. But it didn't fit any of ours, so we went ahead and sold it. And it sold with my 10% off coupon. Buyer paid $73.60, and I took home $49.63. All right. Next up, this was a lot of Christian-themed DVDs I found when I was in Idaho also. I actually found these at the bins. There was a whole bin full of them. And they were all in there. I lotted them up. Probably didn't pay much for them because they're pretty light. Sold them probably with my 10% offer. Yep. Buyer paid $50.86, and my take home was $29.68. Always on the lookout for those. Lotting them together is good. And a Depop sale. This was a pretty good Depop sale this week. A leather motorcycle hat. I don't think it was even really branded. I can't remember, but it just had a really cool, I have an eagle necklace that I love and I wear all the time, and this kind of reminded me of it. So I picked it up. I think I paid up a little on it. I think it was like $12 that I paid for it. But I sold for $95. Didn't even take an offer. $95. I took home $83.16, which was a nice sale. And this was pretty quick too. I think I only found it maybe a month ago. Oh, this was a cool sale. Beavis and Butthead. I remember not being able to watch the show as a kid. But I always thought these guys were so weird. I found these plushes at a yard sale. I think I paid $20 for everything in my giant pile at that yard sale, and I've already sold many other things from that pile. So this is a 100% profit. They sold for, let's see, they used my 10% off coupon. Buyer paid $133.22, and I took home $90.66. All profit. These guys were in really awesome condition. There's quite a few other comps for these guys in way worse condition with rips and stuff, and these guys were really in nice condition. They just had faded tags, but crazy sale. Be on the lookout for those old cartoon characters as plushies from the 90s. Good stuff. Spencer's Gifts. 90s. Love it. And we'll keep moving. If you've been following my Facebook page at all, I've got a ton of cameras in the last week, and I think almost all of them are gone. I have one left. So you'll see a theme coming up. A lot of cameras going out. This was a Canon PowerShot A540. Came with the box, confirmed that it worked, and it was out the door pretty fast. Buyer used my 10% off coupon. They paid $143.30, and I took home $107.47. Always look up cameras. Some of them are worth a lot, and some of them aren't. I think I have another one that's also a Canon that was a lot lower, so you just got to look up the model number. Eddie Bauer. This was a rugby style, really cool shirt. If it was in really good condition, it would have sold for way more. But this one had some stains on it. I put flaw in the title so that they would look at all the pictures. I can't remember where. Yeah, there was a couple like random color stains. So I was really bummed that it had stains, but I knew it would still sell. So this one also, my buyer used my 10% off coupon. Buyer paid $41.07 and I took home $25.80. Not bad on a stained vintage shirt. And here is another Canon that sold for less money. It's not as desirable. The other one was A500. This is A300. It's not as exciting, not as desirable, but still sold really fast. For $34. Where am I at? On my list. I lost my spot. There it is. Why does it say 34? Oh, my buyer paid $41 with shipping. They paid $10 shipping. That's why I was confused. Paid $41.36 and I took home $27.84. I think I picked this up for $5 at a Goodwill. Not bad. It's always nice when they have like the user guides and stuff. Sometimes people will buy just that or the manuals, which is kind of cool. And this was a surprising sale. Some of this makeup was in a bag that I picked up this week at Goodwill. It had some other makeup pieces in it that I wanted that were still sealed. And I randomly looked these up, and they were actually a pretty sought-after sealed color palette. And I took an $18 offer, I think, within a day on them, which, okay, cool. Works for me. Another Depop sale. This was Rock Revival women's shorts. Women's Rock Revival doesn't do as well as men's, but these were cool when they're really embellished and distressed and have rhinestones and stuff on them. I always see if they're priced right. I can pick them up. I think I paid $7 for these. Buyer bought them for $40. Or actually, no, they sent me an offer for $35, and I took home $33.01. I'm much more willing to take offers on Depop because the fees are so low. So that one worked out for me. Another Canon, another camera. Picked up that same day. This was also a good one. Sold on Depop, which was surprising to me. But there you go. Let's see. Buyer sent me an offer for $70, so I went ahead and took it. $61.08 is what I took home. This one also had kind of comps all over the place between like 60 and 100, so I kind of just priced where I thought and figured I'd take a reasonable offer, and it worked out good. Moving right along, we have this hat. Was so cute. It was in Italy. I saved this from the bins when I was in Phoenix. This was just a really pretty, it looked cottage core to me. Travel. It's called Garevi, made in Italy. Very boho. Very cool. Picked that up. Someone bought that for $38, and I took home $30.40. Not bad. It was super light, so I probably paid like 30 cents at the bins for it. So not a bad pickup. And a very pretty purse that sold this week. This was a Montana West. I feel like anything with fringe is so in right now, it's not even funny. But anyways, buyer used my 10% off coupon. Buyer paid $50.78, and I took home $36.94. I believe I picked this up at a yard sale, actually. But yeah, when things have fringe, they can go into so many categories. This was also a concealed carry purse, which was cool. Montana West has a lot of that. So studded, good keywords, and pretty color. And we'll move on. The last two I have to show you, I'm pretty sure, is some insane pickups I found on Monday. These were Sony Hi8 cassette recorder players. Still had their boxes. Confirmed that they worked. This one had the styrofoam, a couple cords with it. It didn't have the remote. If it would have had the remote, it would have sold for a lot more. But but this one sold for $3.99. Buyer paid for $39 with maybe they sent me an offer because they only paid. Oh no, with tax. Okay. See, it's way too late for me to be doing this. I need to be doing these in the morning or something. But this one sold. Buyer paid $439.75, and I took home $315.92. This was $3 sitting on the shelf, 50% off electronics at one of my local thrift stores. Yeah, insane. And right next to that one was this one, which was practically brand new. Sealed remote, sealed cords, sealed original batteries. Insane. So this one I put up a little bit higher. I put it up at $5.99. There were some comps even over $600. This one was actually nicer than any of the comps that I saw. But I figured I want it to sell fast. I'm going to price it reasonably. And if someone shoots me a really good offer, I'm going to take it. And that's what happened. Someone offered me $540. With the $14.99 shipping and tax, my buyer paid $598 even. And I took home $430.50. This one was also $3 sitting on the rack. You never know what you're going to find. If you don't go out there and look, you're not going to find it. So I encourage you, if you weren't going to go out anywhere thrifting this week, maybe just take a 10-minute stop in a thrift store you don't normally go to, because it can change and make your week insane. You never know what's going to be on the shelf. So crazy. I still had a bunch of other sales. If you want to see more of my sales, let me know. Maybe I'll do another long video. I did share a halfway point video on, what day did I do that? I don't even remember what day it was. Maybe Sunday, where I shared my weekend sales. So if you watch that video, you'll see some more of this week's sales. I don't think I doubled any of them. I tried to only pick ones I had not shared in my last video. And I'll see if that helps me get through. 48 things, that's crazy. I'd be sitting here forever. But if you like this kind of stuff, please subscribe and like my videos. Share them with your other friends who are learning this business or want to learn this business. And just know that I appreciate you guys. And I'm going to keep sharing as long as you keep watching. So hope you guys have a great weekend and find some treasures.